moving straight into the show. I'm just going to give you guys heads up. You're more than welcome, right, when we get to the Q&A, you're more than welcome to ask questions, 1 or 2 questions. We're going to be throwing it back to you. And please don't let the speaker sit down. If you do have a question, just raise your hand up. There's something very unique that they will be throwing to you a bit later on, which I really do want to see because I'm fascinated by it. And then, you'll get to ask your question through that unique whatever that'll be thrown at you. All right, so up next, we have David with a legendary surname, Osborn. He has expanded the use of mining software solutions, including opening a regional office in Ghana to support West African customers, starting his career in sales and marketing at Digital Mining Services. He later founded Serpent Minex Africa before transitioning into Dassault Systèmes. I feel like this name is like literally, you planned this. It's like you assaulted, you're here for business. He holds a BSc in Engineering, Geology, University of Natal, and an MBA, Gordon Institute of Business Science, University of Pretoria. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the man himself, David Osborn. I was waiting for that one.
Thanks, Matt. So, a little bit about Dassault, just to give you a bit of background. Dassault, a big French company itself, certainly we're based here in Africa, got good strong roots with good partners here, but the company's been around for 40 plus years. It's listed on the Paris Stock Exchange and it has thousands of partners globally in the engineering space. So the company itself, very briefly, based globally around the world, 3 major offices, lots of R&D taking place, both in Asia, Europe, and of course North America, and here in Africa, with our offices based Waterfall, just down the road, Stellenbosch, Ghana, and of course our partners, AMCAD being one of them. But maybe just, what is Dassault all about? Because it leads into the theme about AI, and, it's all about creating virtual worlds. So AI is all about perfecting something in a virtual world, getting it right there, applying some knowledge and know-how and deep industry expertise, and then actually applying it in the real world. And that's what Dassault does. Very briefly, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time around this. It's a house of brands, SolidWorks being one of them here, and you can go and have a look at it in action with the AMP guys. CATIA being another one of them in the space around industrial engineering. But it's got a history, right? And this history is interesting because it talks about how we as a software company and how we in engineering and manufacturing have been through the generations, how we've improved upon things through the decades. And, we initially started off in the early 80s and it was all around creating digital pre-assembly, right? Simple 2D drawings, simple CAD drawings, and it was all around product. Generation 3 was all about looking at PDM, product data management. We added extra product complementary data, things like external data, documents, calculation sheets, more documentation, adding more information to what we were building. Then came product lifecycle management. And that added a 4th dimension, which was around time. What were we doing through the life cycle of a product, through its design, its ideation, through to its manufacturing, and then ultimately, when it was out in the environment, how we actually closed that down. So this was bringing all the different stakeholders together, bringing all the different suppliers together in one place, and creating a virtual environment around what it is that we were designing and what it is that we were building. We took this in Generation 6 and we added a human element to it, okay? Being more immersive, bringing the human dimension to it, bringing more experiences, which is where we are now in Generation 7, which brings the AI component. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So typically, in any software design company or typically in any engineering company, what we did a couple of decades ago was use software, bought it off the shelf. We had a product. We knew what our quality is that we needed to design to. and then we just simply designed to it. Okay, it was all about that software engineer using his IP and applying his IP into what it is that he was designing and engineering. There wasn't very much investment involved then, and it was all about, me, what I was doing in my company. Now what we're doing is far more collaborative, and with the latest generation of software, it's open. And this is what AI brings. AI brings that 40 plus years of information and knowledge and know-how, and allowing you to apply that into your everyday environment, into your everyday design and engineering. And what does it do? It makes you a lot more productive. It's all about generation of new design that we have. It's all about modeling, simulation, real-world evidence, and AI-generated content. But maybe let's just talk a little bit about AI. So in everything that we do, there's a combination of science. On the left side of what you've got on the screen there, it's a world of observation. AI is on the right-hand side there. So AI is all about looking at text, videos, images, and more specific to us, 3D, or 3D plus time. But when you start combining both, you get a very unique possibility, right? You get a world of science on the left-hand side, giving you a representation of space. So with the virtual world, you can continue to generate synthetic data, right? You can continue to generate more and more data around the products that you've got. And the great thing is that it's all respecting the laws of physics for the products that don't even exist yet, or the conditions that you don't necessarily want to put humans in to test it out. So that virtual world allows you to test those what-if scenarios. So what's a virtual twin? So a virtual twin experience is about putting these three things together, right? Modeling the most advanced data, representation of your product or the factory that you might have, matching it from data from the real world. And then most importantly, the third piece is collaboration. Okay, so how do we orchestrate working with people together to get the best out of the IP that the people have collectively in your environment or in your supply chain itself? Think of the requirement for data, the cost of the data, the quality of data, and the 3D model. Linked together, you can get it correlated and collaboration itself. The future is about combining these three things, right? Going from delivering products, delivering experiences. So let's bring that data together. It means more knowledge. Use it to gain insights and take decisions based on the data-driven facts that you have. And then, of course, the last pillar, which is my favorite pillar, AI. So what AI can do is that 40 plus years of academic knowledge and know-how, expose that. Expose the standard regulations that you have, okay, that are applicable in your work environment, in the law and what is out there, as well as what is there in an industry itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a couple of videos and just show you how we've embedded AI into workflows, into software, to give you an idea about how your productivity can increase. Start building a case, help you build a case, help build your research around building EV batteries or supplying EV batteries or even building EV cars. Get it to generate business ideas, okay? Generate AI actions here that I've got here. How do I improve, for example, EV range? So using the ability of that AI to actually help you build your research and your study itself. So we can see here, pros and cons. What about electric vehicles, hybrid vehicles? Tell me the pros and cons about that. Help me build my business case. Start embedding it in your documentation. Again, you can see how fast this is. Okay, so this is a simple example around EVs, electric vehicles, charging infrastructure. Again, we're going and having a look here. Give me an outline about EV charging. Okay, what type of charge stations are available? Put it in my documentation, put it as part of my research. So that's what we're doing. That's how it can be useful to you in your everyday life and everyday research there. And interacting in natural language with an AI assistant. In this case here, we're actually having a look at generating business process maps. Okay, embed that as part of my research there, and actually you can see the information that it can give you. It's quite detailed, and see how much faster it is to generate it. Imagine you doing this on your own. It takes a lot of time. Here we can actually get AI to generate design scripts for us. So it gets a lot more complex. And again, saving you time to be able to use that chatbot, that natural person language, to be able to go and say, okay, right, give me design scripts here to help me design what I've got on screen. You just then going into those scripts and applying certain variables that you'd like to apply, okay? So time saving, massive time saving that you've got there. And this one's actually a pretty cool one, right? So here again, somebody's doing research and saying, okay, I want to look at a car, I want to build a car. It's a van, I want it to have 5 people in it. Oh, actually, maybe I want to change this. Tell me what the specs are of typical people movers out there. In this case here in the European space, gives you the approximate lengths, widths, heights, row configurations. And now being able to go and play with that and change that and say, okay, actually, you know what, instead of it being 5-seater, I want 7-seater, but quickly being able to change those variables. So that's what it's all about. So this is probably something that's a little bit more relevant to what we've got here at this exhibition. And this is a deep dive video into generative experience with virtual companions, right? So here we want to actually go and do a saw. We're going to go into the marketplace called part supply, and we've just got a simple example here where we want to go and create something. We want to have a look at a Mittler saw and how we go about and create that in that AI space. So again, we can see the parts. AI can lay it out for you. In the real world, we would have had it all on a table and we wouldn't have known what goes where. But AI can actually bring it together for you. There's the parts neatly laid out, labeled. We know what it takes to build this. Now, how do we assemble it? And we can use AI to help us assemble it, because what it does is it's got that 40 years of knowledge about each of those parts and mating them and bringing them together. Okay? It's in a virtual environment, so we can see what it looks like. We can play with it, visualize it, and see if it works or not works. We can see we're missing a handle. We'll go and have a look at a handle in a moment there for a moment. Okay, but there we've got a virtual environment there highlighting any potential issues before we go and do the physical production itself. But here's some cool stuff. So we want to actually go and take a photo of a handle and say, okay, great. Use my phone, use that AI assistant, use the power of the software to go and create a 3D model of that handle and then bring it in to my model. Okay, so how cool is that? There we're using the technology that we have, simple smartphone, taking that picture, using the embedded software, using the AI there, bringing it into our software, being able to model it, match it, because it's in a 3D model. We can go and then do all kinds of virtual tests there, strain analysis, stress analysis, before we actually go and build the prototype itself. Okay, so for you, the users, it seamlessly captures and secures your IP, that knowledge and know-how. Obviously, it empowers your employees with that historical know-how in your company itself, because it continually learns about your process that you are applying in your company, and it gives you more time to innovate itself. So those are the real things around AI. I hope you find it informative. It's not something to be scared about. It's something to embrace. It's something to say, this is going to help me in my day-to-day life, in my product, in my company, and it's going to get you to produce quality materials a lot faster. Okay, thank you very much.